It is day 21 with the happy hippie chicks today. Can you believe it? 21 of just 22. So tomorrow is going to be our last day together. It's sad, huh? All
Oh my
right.
gosh, I can feel emotions there.
Oh, darling.
But you're getting a real-time hug soon, Tracy. Wipe that sad face off.
So today, as I said, it's day 21, which is let yourself be held. So this is going to be a beautiful one for our day 21. So this is all about, again, the nervous system. Like we're always talking about the nervous system, but the nervous system needs that physical contact, whether it be from other people or even from yourself. You can always give yourself that hug as well. Animals obviously are wonderful for this as well. If you have like a dog or a cat, especially, they're very, very good at cuddling up and giving you that beautiful feeling held, feeling present, feeling grounded. And that's all what we're talking about today. So it's allowing yourself also the sort of allowing yourself to actually like submit into that and release into that physical contact of that hug, whether that's with yourself or with somebody else or with your animals. It's that permission-based thing of allowing yourself to be absorbed by that warmth, by that love, by that genuine comfort. So it's a really, really interesting one to try out with different people, different animals, and yourself, because it will feel different, obviously, depending who you are hugging at the time. Our joy flip today is wrap yourself in something comforting, a blanket or some warm clothes. Give yourself a hug or lean into a chair or a wall and let gravity hold some of your weight for you. So this is also allowing yourself to feel heavy as well, like unapologetically letting yourself just be held by whatever surface that you're up against as well. But giving yourself permission to just put all your weight into it and be heavy and allow that thing to fully embrace you and to hold you. If you are doing the journal prompt with us, we are doing what changed when I allowed myself to be held rather than holding myself together. And that's the other thing as well, right? Like we think that we have to always be strong and maybe for other people or just for ourselves. We don't feel like we can have that time of just letting go. And a hug almost always will let you just release into that. And, you know, when you're really stressed out and someone just comes and gives you a hug, you just kind of melt into it, right? And there's that release there. It's a really, really important thing. And they say something like it's like 20 seconds or something a hug should be before it actually does anything for like your nervous system, for your mind, for your body, for your emotions. So it seems a really long time and kind of awkward if the person doesn't know that that's what you're doing. But it's so good to do that. So just go in and hug someone special today, or just hug yourself, hug your pets, and try it for 20 seconds and see how weird that gets.
It's only weird when people start making noises, I think. I just want to share I had a really interesting thing happen the other day. As you know, life's been a bit challenging of late, and I've been heading in and out to the hospital um, to catch up with someone who's really dear to me who's been on the mend. And the day that we had, I can't, Invisible Kindness, I spoke about my dad, and I was really, really missing my dad at night time. And I'd called him in, but I was thinking, like, if my dad was around, I wouldn't be in this situation because he would have done X, Y, and Z. Like, he would be driving me into the hospital. He had a great sense of direction, really good at parking. None of that would have phased him. And then I suddenly got the giggles. I'm like, well, he would have been 93, so maybe he wouldn't have been allowed to be doing that. But anyway, what was really funny is I was lying in bed thinking this, and Leo normally sleeps at the end of my bed. He's my guard cat, so he watches everything going on and checks out that things are safe for me. He picked up the vibration of what was going on, and he literally came right up into my face to let me know he was thinking of me. And then I sleep with a pillow that I hold. He came under my armpit, tucked in under the armpit on the right side, which is male, and then put his paw across my arm to hug me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you beautiful boy. He's just so incredibly intuitive. But it was just really interesting how that shifted things so quickly. Yeah, yeah. It was one of those moments for sure. There was a lot of like tears of beauty, and that's what I've been finding throughout this whole experience. The other thing that I wanted to add in to Beck's conversation around hugging is there's a process called havening, and I don't know if you've heard of havening before. And what you do with havening is you get your two hands and you literally rub up and down your arms. And it's supposed to simulate what mums do with their baby. So you rub up and down the length of your arms. And what it does is it calms the central nervous system right down. So if you're feeling really upset, just do that. Just rub up and down, particularly if there's like a situation where you're feeling discombobulated in. You only have to do it for 10, 15, 20 minutes. You'll notice a really big shift. It just feels like, again, like you're giving yourself a hug. But it takes you back into that state of what happens between mothers and their babies, and particularly for children who've missed out on that phase. Maybe they were sick as a child and they were in hospital. And, back in the day, mum wasn't allowed to visit in hospitals. They used to have, wasn't allowed to stay. They used to have to come in and out. That can be a soul hole for so many people. So you're actually filling the gap of that soul hole, and it's really, really cathartic. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got today. Oh, now I'm going to watch the two of these guys fight. Let yourself be held. We are moving from self reliance, where you think you have to hold everything together for yourself, into supported rest. And the shadow for self reliance is literally, I have to hold everything together. Like if I'm not holding everything together, I'm not demonstrating I'm strong. And the flip is, I can allow support. Now, the challenging thing when you allow support is often it's emotionally overwhelming when you recognize that people care for you and you feel their empathy and compassion. But most people who want to help you out of genuine kindness really don't care if you cry. They really don't. They understand that's an overflow of emotions, and you're getting rid of the relief, the energy that you've held on to, and you're just allowing relief to kick in. So that's a really good flip. Our second one is constant effort. So, continually ticking boxes, being driven, going at the same pace, making sure that you get everything vigilantly done around you, into allowing gentle receiving. Now, I have one of my friends who knows how challenging life's been for me. She is the most amazing human in the world. I had Let the North Be With You last night, and she was going to pop over to visit. And she's like, I'm just going to leave some stuff on your doorstep. Get to it when you can. I get out there, there's 4 bags of groceries. And they're all things that I can put in the freezer and just pull out quickly, when I'm heading in and out to the hospital to eat. And, she'd made sure she cooked extra from her tea. There was truffles in there, gluten-free truffles for Ben. Like there were treats and there were things that she'd really thought about. And even, you're going to love this one, Becca, blueberry juice to which is a really good antioxidant apparently for your body. I've never had it before. It's pretty intense when you have it straight. So she said, only have it like a shot. Don't drink like a whole glassful. But yeah, it would, that was really beautiful to receive something like that too. So the shadow is, I must stay strong. And, I must put on this veneer of I've got everything together. And the flip is, I'm allowed to soften, and I'm allowed to lose control, and I'm allowed to cry, and I'm allowed to be real, because at the end of the day, people feel when you're real, and, they will actually want to support you and be more vulnerable with you when you're real about it. Okay, next one, number 3, tension to physical safety. Tension is where we hypervigilantly hold on and we say, my body has to stay braced. We're like preparing for that axe to fall, waiting for the next thing to happen. And I had this conversation with my son recently because he was going through a situation where he was constantly saying, oh, what's the next thing going to be? I'm like, you need to stop thinking like that. Like you're literally putting those words out into the world like a spell and you're casting yourself. You know, you need to be looking at it very differently. The moment he did, the outcomes began to change too. And that's the kind of work that Beck and I do as well, is changing those unconscious core beliefs into belief systems that are more beneficial for us. So the one we want to flip into is support helps my body relax. So things like my blueberry juice that got dropped off, that's going to help my body. I've got lots of coconut water at the moment. That's going to keep me hydrated. I've got the beautiful Beck sending me healing at the moment. You have no idea the shift that has made. I had a whole pain-free day the other day. I haven't had that in 8 years. 8 years. It was phenomenal. And it was for the whole day. It wasn't for like a 15-minute gap or a 20-minute gap. It was the whole day. And I suddenly looked at life and thought, oh, I wonder what life could be like without all this pain, because that hasn't been something I've been able to entertain for a long time. And then the last one, isolation to comforted presence. Isolation is where you take yourself away from everybody else. This happens with lots of the women I work with. They will often go into their cave, I call it, and they don't want to make other people unhappy. They don't want to be seen being miserable. So they carry everything alone and they isolate. Happened lots during COVID, and we are still energetically paying the price for it too, where people lost their connection with community. And I think that's part of the reason that you girls have enjoyed turning up so much is there's community here. Community is incredibly healing. So the flip to it is I can be held by comfort and gravity. And that's part of the reason that Beck and I created this. We wanted to create a space where we could just hold community, have a little bit of joy for maybe a 30-minute period. So that was why we actually initiated this in the first place. And we actually do have a surprise to share, but we won't share it till tomorrow, will we, Beck? Yep. We'll keep you in suspenders. Close your eyes and take yourself into your own private space. Close your eyes, little man. Like this. And say to yourself, I allow myself to be supported. And I want you to notice if there's any uncomfortable emotions or feelings that come up in your body. Because sometimes when we say affirmations, the body will respond differently. I allow myself to be supported. It's not always the easiest thing to do. One more time, I allow myself to be supported. And the next one, it is safe for me to soften and rest. It is safe for me to soften and rest. Lucky last, it is safe for me to soften and rest. And notice if any self-worth comes up around that, because sometimes when I know for myself, when I haven't been able to do as many physical things, there are self-worth issues connected to not being able to do as much. So just notice those if they come up. And then bringing yourself back into the space, ready for Becca's lovely meditation.
All right, we are going to do the celestial cradle today. So beautiful, beautiful one after my last three confronting ones. We're going to do a beautiful meditation for my last one of the joy steps. All right, get nice and comfortable. You can be seated or you can be lying down. And when you're ready, feel free to close your eyes. Bring your attention to the points of contact between your body and the surface beneath you. Take a deep breath, filling your lungs completely. And as you exhale, imagine your physical weight being transferred entirely into the floor below. You are no longer responsible for holding yourself up. Visualize the floor not as a hard surface, but the palm of a vast, steady hand. You are safe. You are supported. You are permitted to be heavy. Begin to realize that you are in a comfortable wooden cradle. Perhaps there are soft pillows and blankets made of cashmere, wool, or velvet. Feel the coziness enveloping you in this cradle. You fit perfectly within it. With each breath, feel the security wrapping around you, making you feel lighter and more at ease. Now shift your internal gaze upwards. Imagine the ceiling above you dissolving, revealing a deep, velvet indigo night sky adorned with millions of twinkling stars. Now imagine the cradle starting to float gently upwards, carrying you into the soft glow of the universe around you. Feel the warmth of the stars shining down, embracing you in their cosmic energy. The vastness of space surrounds you, and you feel completely safe and supported. As you breathe, imagine the darkness of the cosmos as a soft, breathable fabric. And with every inhalation, draw in the stillness of this vacuum. With every exhalation, you release your worries into the infinite expanse. Remember that you are made of stardust. We are all composed of the same elements found in the hearts of the stars: carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Feel this kinship. Imagine the stars whispering to you, reminding you that you are never alone and that you are deeply cared for. You are not a stranger to the universe. You are a localized expression of it. Your cradle gently melts away and becomes the Milky Way stars. You are now supported and held in the luminous hammock of stardust of the Milky Way. It curves beneath your spine, supporting your head, your shoulders, and your limbs as if you weighed nothing. You are being cradled by the subtle energies of the cosmos. The celestial cradle is your origin and your home. And there is no effort required to stay afloat. Take a moment to acknowledge any worries, burdens, or tensions you may be holding on to. Visualize these feelings as small stones that you are carrying. Gather the stones up in your hands. Exhale and allow these stones to transform into cosmic light as they dissolve and are carried away by the universe. Feel the relief of letting go, allowing and trusting the celestial cradle to hold you fully. When thoughts of the day arise, see them passing like meteors, bright, fleeting, and ultimately disappearing into the vastness. You are exactly where you're meant to be in the grand architecture of the universe. As we approach the end of this meditation, take a moment to reflect on how it feels to be held by the universe. Know that you can return to this place of support whenever you need. Allow this feeling of being cradled by the cosmos to fill you with peace and comfort. And as you breathe in You feel the warmth and let it settle in your heart. And notice your heart beating in your chest, feeling its vibration. Feel your heart beating down your arms, into your hands, and pulsating through your fingertips. Feel your heart beating down your legs, into your feet, and pulsating through your toes. Feel your heart beating through every cell of your body. You are alive and you are here. And when you feel cold, you can wiggle your fingers and your toes or do a nice big stretch. And open your eyes when you're ready. Holding does not end when this meditation concludes. Rather, you visualize that the universe is always providing support for you, whether you're conscious of it or not. Welcome back, everyone.
I thought Tracy was off with the fairies then.
I know, I thought, oh, I said her to sleep and she'll
Yeah.
have to just like carry on without her.
Um, that was wild. That was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. I'm glad you made us work for those 3 days. I feel like we really earned that one.
Yeah, you'll earn that good one.
um, do you know what happened to me, which was really, really unusual? So when we're in the cradle, like I actually have a memory of being in the cradle. I was in a cradle in Sweden, so I was only up to 6 months old, but I could visualize it. My grandfather had made it for me, and it was on one of those rocking things because he was a carpenter. So that was really cool. When we got to see the stars, it wasn't stars for me, it was the aurora borealis, and there was all of this turquoise. It was absolutely divine, absolutely
Amazing.
mind blowing. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I've always wanted to see this, and it's just come into a meditation. And then Leo actually came and joined me, and he started at my knees, and he wasn't comfortable. And he settled where he never normally settles. Like he's doing a lot of weird things lately. He's actually lying on top of my left ankle. Now, left ankle is related to allowing joy into your life, and it's joy in relation to females or yourself. And I
Well,
thought,
that's
isn't
perfect.
that funny that he's like picked up on the energy of what we're doing? Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely beautiful. Hmm.
Wow.
I could have stayed there forever.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's definitely one I will do of a night time and be out like out goodbye nurse and yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you, Beck. That was beautiful.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I wanted it to be a really, really, really nice one today.
it was absolutely lovely. Even though when I was in the cradle, I got very emotional and my eyes started filling up with tears. But it wasn't a horrible emotion, but I was just emotional, if you know what I mean. And the weirdest thing was when you said about floating up and then, the cradle getting away, I was about to, I was thinking, oh, the stars are going to hold me now. And you said, the stars are going to hold you. And that was
Yeah,
bizarre. So, I actually visioned just before you said it was all underneath me. But then everything got lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. And it was like I was in a bath of stars. And I was floating around my nice warm bath in the stars. And I wanted to stay there. I didn't want to come back. But as you were saying, like, you can feel the heat, the heartbeat and all this. My limbs were like, oh, really? They weren't part of me. My legs weren't, everything was just so relaxed and
yeah,
weightless, so
that's
weightless.
beautiful.
It really
And
was beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, like the emotions with the crib bit at the beginning, that's really, really good as well. Because again, you're releasing stuff, even if
Well,
you're like not conscious of what it
I
is,
was,
you're releasing.
I was born very premature. So I was in hospital for a very long time and obviously in an incubator. And
Mhm.
in them days, like I'm 58 now, mums weren't, they didn't do
Mm.
the skin to skin or things like that, did they? And also
Mhm.
my middle brother had actually got a fractured skull. So she had to spend a lot of time at home with him. And even though, mum's not with me anymore now, but we always knew we loved each other, but we've all missed something was missing. And
Mm.
I think that's why I had the tears.
Mm.
And you
Yeah.
said it now, it's all coming up again. But I think that's what was missing. But it wasn't a horrible thing.
Mm.
It was just the way it was.
Yeah.
But I do think that had a big impact on things, and that brought it. But it wasn't horrible. It was nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's an acknowledgement for the inner child too, Tracy. And
Yeah,
the child needs that acknowledgement that life was tough for it because of that,
yeah,
and that
yeah,
you're now holding that inner child now.
yeah.
That's what she thinks. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's really
No, that was
interesting
good.
because the other day when we did the meditation, you were playing Wendy and flying in your 90s. So you've had
I love
two flying sessions.
I'm always up in the air, aren't I?
She was doing Peter Pan the other day. What star sign are you?
Capricorn.
Oh, okay. So you're not an air sign. Yeah.
Oh, but I was born 3 months early.
Ah, okay. Well, that wouldn't make you. That would make you
I don't know.
Capricorn
I was born on the 10th of January.
to January. So that'd be April. So that you've missed out on being a fire sign. Is that right, Beck?
Yeah. Probably a fire, yeah, probably Aries.
Aries. Yeah.
Yeah, unless it was later April and then it would be Taurus.
Yeah.
And then that's Earth. So yeah, it was fire or Earth. It's not gonna be an
Yeah.
air.
But there must be lots of air in your chart there somewhere.
I'm
Yeah.
Hmm.
just like flying around.
Well, that's why a lot of people they don't believe in astrology or whatever because they just look at their star sign, their sun sign, and they say, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
nothing like me." And like Karnie just said, Tracy, you probably got a load of air signs, and all your
yeah,
other planets and things are probably all air signs. And so you
yeah,
actually, if you looked at your chart more broadly and more with all everything else, you'd probably be like, "Oh no, that sounds like me," because you don't
yeah.
resonate so much with the Earth in a
Mhm.
complete way, right? You've still got that Capricorn in you, but you resonate more
Yeah.
with maybe the air signs a lot more
When
than
Yeah.
when
your
And
other planets.
water sign, she'd have a lot of water as well too, because
Yeah.
you're very emotional and very empathic.
I love water and waterfalls. I adore
Hmm.
waterfalls.
Yeah. Your moon's probably a water sign for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll have to do a waterfall meditation, Beck.
Oh,
Yeah. I have a waterfall one for my
Ooh,
Reiki,
yeah,
my holy fire experiences. I have one already for that.
beautiful. Well,
Yay.
there you go.
I'll definitely shout for that. Give me plenty of warning. Oh, one thing that did make me laugh, when you said sinking and like the floor's gone and the back going on below the floor. Well, my daughter's bedroom's underneath me. I nearly started laughing. I thought, no, behave, Tracy.
I had something amazing for that too, because when you said that and you said about being held by hands, I had giant Buddha hands holding me. Giant Buddha hands. They were beautiful. They started out like this and then they just opened like a flower for me to climb into. And there was like a real
Mm,
soft cushioning in there as well. Yeah.
beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what magic you put into that meditation when you channeled it, but that one was wild.
Little
It
bit
was
of magic in there as well because
Oh, well,
I
you
wanted
felt
it to be
it.
a special one. It was my last one of this series, so I wanted it to
it's
be
amazing. I didn't want to come
extra
out of it.
special.
I
Yeah.
wanted to stay there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was the
Well,
thing as well.
I
I was
think
like,
that's
I'm
been
gonna
my
just keep
favorite.
them there, and then yeah, let's turn
Yeah.
them,
Yeah,
turn
I've
the
that's
got
it.
call off and leave them there.
Yeah.
Just leave them there, and I'll pop in and say hello whenever I want to check in with them. And
Oh, bless.
have you ever read a book called fabulous book, the Friends of Emily Culpepper? Oh my gosh, it's a funny book. It's about this little old lady who's really lonely, and she's a witch, so she's able to shrink people. So she shrinks the postman and the milkman and the policeman, and makes them into little bottle size so that she can play with them.
What's it called?
The Friends of Emily Culpepper.
Culpepper.
Culpepper, Cul. I'll find it and send you a picture of it. It's a really, really
Yeah.
good book. Yep.
Sounds like my type of book.
Yeah.
I don't make people litter though.
No.
I just fly around.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it was funny when Kerry brought in the broom.
Okay, so if there's nothing else for today, we will see you tomorrow for the final 22 days of Joy Flips. I've been Becca.
And I'm Karnie, and you've just experienced another Joy Flip. See you tomorrow for our lucky last.